Hello guys, today the video will be about residencies and advanced education in general dentistry programs. Those are like two alternative programs for the foreign trained dentists which you are eligible to apply. And I'm going to talk about eligibility criteria, I'm going to talk about pros and cons, why it's good to apply, why it may be not a good choice. So I hope this video will help you kind of to decide which way to pursue towards dental career in the United States. So first we're going to talk about residencies. The pros, let's talk about good stuff. The pros of the residencies. So you are going to get higher salary after graduation. Basically, as you will be considered a specialist in this particular narrow field, and you will get higher percentage in comparison to the general dentist. For the same procedure, you will be getting a higher percentage. How much higher? It depends, but I'd say at least 5 to could be to 10% higher than a general dentist. It all varies, like kind of by what kind of job you find. So this is good. And then now we're going to talk about cons. There is kind of a little bit more information in this list, like not the benefit. So usually the length of the residency program varies. So it's about from 2 to 3 years usually, except of oral maxillofacial surgery residency. This one might take up to 6 years, I think. So 2 to 3 years, and for international dentists there is a little kind of a specific thing you need to check with every state, because you might not be able to practice in every state after graduation from the dental residency. In order to know in which states you can practice, you need to go to the website, to the official website, and check basically the requirements for each state. I'll try to post the link to the general state licensing in the description of the video if I find it, and also if I won't forget. So that's kind of a thing that you need always to think. Also, think about the cost of tuition. The cost of tuition for the residencies is usually very similar to the cost of the advanced standing dental program, and contrary to advanced standing dental program, where you can practice in any state after graduation from it. It's better still to check, but it's pretty straightforward that you can practice in any state, you can get license. Okay, so another thing about residencies, it's usually it's more competitive to get in, because you are competing with traditional American dental graduates. And there are, like, some residencies are more competitive, some are less competitive. The most competitive residencies are oral OMFS residencies, also ortho. Ortho is very competitive, and pediatric dentistry is quite competitive in the United States. It's kind of interesting in comparison to other countries. I didn't know that. And the least competitive residency, it's prosthodontics. So basically, prosthodontics, if you want to get into prosthodontics, it should be less, you should have a less competition, it's easier to get in. All right, and the other important thing that I didn't mention about residencies, that you need to take, for most of them, you have to take the GRE test, besides NBD test, GRE, because it's considered graduate education program, which it's basically like, it's not a master's program. You can get a master's during residency if you take an additional year, but for most of the residency you have to take this test, so just keep it in mind. All right, so next is advanced education in general dentistry programs. Let's talk about this type of programs. So the pros are that length is usually 1 to 2 years. However, for international dentists, you have to go for full 2 years in this program, because most of the states require you to have dental education in the United States for at least 2 years. So basically, even though you can go only for 1 year, you won't be able to obtain license. So you need to go for 2 years if you're an international dentist. And other good stuff, like pros, like that, some dental schools pay you. Once you're in this program, they pay you. So program is free of charge and you don't pay, but program pays you. It's not a big amount. It's usually around 40 to 50 thousand per year, but it's still obvious you don't get a loan, which is very nice, and you get some money to live for. And it's less competitive to get in. It's still competitive, like it depends on the residence, on AEGD, short AEGD, and however it's less competitive than to getting into implant fellowship. And the good thing that after AEGD program, usually you can pretty easy to get into implant fellowship because it puts you above other candidates like this AEGD experience. And also, if you're interested in implants, you can kind of look for the AEGD programs which are focused on the implant placements and implant restorations. Because when you look through the university websites, they usually specify in which field the AEGD program is focused. And if they don't specify, you can kind of ask them, and sometimes you can request that just express your interest, and they will give you more patients for this particular field. Like, for example, you're interested in implants, right? Or I don't know what else, like or whatever you're interested in. So anyway, okay, let's now talk about the cons. So the cons for international dentists, you won't be able to practice in all states. So here it's similar situation as with residencies. You will have to check with every state boards, will you be able to practice or not, and I would highly recommend to check it in advance. So before you go into the program or even before you apply, and so you know, basically you know in which particular state you can practice, and you know, like where you want to live, so kind of think about that in advance. And some schools don't accept international dentists. So here, it depends upon the school. Some AEGD programs accept international dentists, so basically straight from your country you can be accepted. Some don't do this, some require you to obtain ASPID program basically first, like advanced standing dental program. So this, again, you need to go to the specific university website and read this information thoroughly. Another thing about AEGD, I mentioned before that some of them are free and they pay you tuition, or not tuition, and they pay you a salary, but some of them are not free. Some of them have extremely high tuition, and there is a little detail about that. This tuition of AEGD is not covered by FAFSA. So basically, some residencies, for example, like Cleveland and Columbus in Ohio, they required you to pay them tuition. Tuition cost is extremely expensive, similar to advanced standing dental program tuition, and it's not covered by FAFSA loans. So don't rely on FAFSA when you apply to AEGD. Either you have to have your own funds, basically, to pay for that, either you have to apply to the ones that pay you. That's kind of probably the best option, right? But if you can't get into the ones that pay you, you'll have to pay, and FAFSA will not cover that. You'll have to take private loans for that. By the way, my next video I want to make about how to pay for dental school in the United States. So I'm going to talk about types of loans, scholarships. A lot of people asking me about scholarships. And I'm going to talk basically about the ways how to pay for this advanced standing dental program. So let me know if this topic is interesting for you. Please write me in the comments if you're interested. And I think this is all I had for you. Just ask me questions if you have any questions, and see you soon, guys. Bye.